morning, everyone. Nice to meet you. I am very happy because I'm returned to student when I was young, and I'm first time to wear this suit in here. Ladies and gentlemen, and teachers and my colleagues, today I'd like to tweet something to someone will be not valuable or boring, but someone who come in here, the teachers or partners or families, will be just different feeling. My name is An Yong-ju, came from Korea, and as you know, my job is Japanese teacher in Sunmun University. And today, I'm going to speak following this content. To my important persons or people or my special someone. Cyber, the online is occasionally to make misunderstanding to us what the virtual like to real world. For that, I reduced to try to meet someone to face. Instead to meet face to face, instead to visit someone's house, instead to take face to face, I talk to the just sound, and someone's satisfied and do not feel the guilty. In order to the online, same space they are, and the same house. I lost what I had been written, the letters, the cards to my special someone. Is it good? Is it real happy? For you? I don't know. Maybe it depends on you. Today, for this presentation, to prepare this presentation, I imagined some many kinds of words as possible as I can. Through this speech, I want to introduce the three kinds of keywords. The first keyword of most of all is language. Without the language, we can imagine to make a communication. Even tiny things or even small items, even someone who live in together families. How can you make a communication or relationship exclude the languages? But, however, sometimes in the communications, we do not much necessary the language moment, especially between love each other. Because occasionally the silence of the eye contact, one of the facial expression is explanation that situation too much more than language. We call it as nonverbal communication. In this nonverbal communication are included the facial expression, body movements and posture and gestures, eye contact, touch, space, voice, tone, etc. Many kinds of the facial expressions we are. Do you think only other languages necessary in this phase? Everybody will be understand this child's facial expressions. Please watch this slide. This is a communication constitution graph. This is the effectiveness of communications. You know that the spoken word is effectiveness percentage is only the 7%. 38% is tone of the voice, and 55% is nonverbal cues, like eye contact, like silence. According to the researcher who to study for nonverbal communication announced this paper, I said the language is a very significant element for the communications. However, I want to say too, the language is not so much important item for good communication. From here, I want to say more specifically to the language. I and someone who came from not USA people are here for learning English, and the teachers who staying here for teaching English is using English language. Everyone, as you know, we are learning or teaching English language. Through the English language, we are learned and taught. In other words, we are communicating through the English. The language, the English, is making a relationship here. From next slide, I will show you what I could make a relationship here through the language of English. The first keyword, I introduced the language. The second of all, I could easily pick up this keyword was relationship. To manage the life, human being is making the relations reluctantly or necessarily. We should do that more carefully, sometimes honestly or occasionally pretend to. Because we know that the relationship is very and more sensitive for as much as related emotion of human beings. Indeed, in here, every ladies and gentlemen know that to make relation is so great event. However, it is so weak, then easily break and forward to make a trouble. I am not sure, but we had better. We have to, we should, we must attach the fragile tag, maybe. To make a relation or relationship someone who or somehow, somewhere, especially to make special relationship with someone who love me and support me is very special, not ordinary event in my life. From here, I'd like to introduce following the timeline who I have met. I have made a new relationship while I have been staying here. This is the scenes when was held the welcome orientation in this building. In this time, I didn't know anybody gathering this hall. But now, I know I can introduce these people. This is Sen Kim, director of this Asian Affairs Center. One of the bonus, he presented Little Kim by the Lord. Congratulations, Mr. Kim. And this is the Dr. Yu and Mr. Jim Baden. Dr. Yu is a special, hardworking, and diligent person. While I staying here almost every weekday, I came here so early morning, more than anybody. But Dr. Yu is early bird, real early bird. He delivered every morning nice coffee for me or for students. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Jung. Especially I appreciate him because too much try hard for me. When you visit Korea, I will give you my time in return. Thank you so much. This is my big pleasure. I could meet several significant persons in who I will have never seen if I didn't come here. My relationship was begun like this. Through the Miss Susan's class, I could meet several colleagues who came from some countries for learning the English. If I didn't come here, I can't make a relationship in my life. Through Miss Susan, I could learn to many things more than English. She has shown the graceful and generous American style. Thank you. Mary Jo, Dr. Hardy, has shown the generous, careful concern and never lost enthusiastic passion to love students. In that class, I could meet La, who came from Thailand and went to back this April. Personally, I involved some events, then I had a chance to visit her house. At that time, I learned and I realized what I need doing, the reflection, because Mr. Allen, who is the husband of Dr. Hud, he prepared the glamorous dinner for students. I have never seen before that prepared the dinner for the guest as a substitute his wife. It was a big culture shock. Sorry. At the time, I realized how I am happy man what I was born in Korea. However, I am not going to enjoy anymore. If I go back to Korea, I am going to try as like an American, but I'm not sure. Thank you very much, Dr. Hud. I really appreciate your graceful care for foreign students. Thank you. Mr. Jim and Mr. Frame, thank you so much. I chose this class, but it was so difficult to me. I am not a funny guy. Then I switched, but it was nice experience. Miss Fran is now under the medical treatment, I heard. I hope quick recovery and return. This semester, I took Mr. Jim's class. I have heard Mr. Jim studied in journalism. This semester, he opened Gun Milk, was nearly interesting subject. Using the advertisement, this subject is a very brilliant approach. Several years ago, I have been approached for the same subject to graduated school as Japanese. I learned to you more than English. Thank you, and I want to give you a big hands. Thank you. Miss Jane O'Toole, I could learn from her to passion of the life and passionate, challenging mind, to think, to appreciate for small things too much. I could learn from you to satisfy to students and doing the best attitude. For explaining to a student, she was bend the knees. It is do not hesitate. It is not easy to me. She does show me the smile all the time. To Korean, it gives me very deeply impression. I have never been met who smiling all the time to me. My family, I love her smile. I will never forget the American lady's brightness. Thank you, and I deeply appreciate you. I learned and I realized many of the knowledge for you without the language. Mr. Donna Cool, she is so amazingly brilliant lady and careful concern to foreign students like a child. I will never forget the banana bread she baked. It was so amazingly fabulous good taste. From bottom of my heart, I really deeply appreciate you. Mr. Donna, thank you, and I hope your health and enjoying this life more and more. This semester, I'm listening Mr. Linda Bradler class. I learned from her to prepare to class so many kinds of materials, resources, papers, videos. Every single class, she would spend the many times for the class. It is truly big and great and tremendous and awesome and admirable works. I know that because I am too. Thank you. I realized I learned what preparing class in principle of lesson. In order to you, I learned the attitude about the class, about the student. Thank you so much. Miss Amanda, I could meet her at the morning talk time regularly. She is very young and dignified. In the discussion, she said, do not hesitate to say the self-opinion to the adult. I think I am just picked the American education style to you. Thank you. Finally, I am great honor to introduce him, who is the very tall and so kind to anybody, like a lady, like a neighbor's Uncle Jim, Mr. Brad Jacobson. I learned so many kinds of experience to him, and he gave me the chance self-reflection. He is very brilliant and humble man. He has never hesitated to do something for the students. He has several inconvenient points, but in rainy days, snow day, cloudy day, it doesn't matter. He guided where some good and cheap restaurant, sometimes ice cream shop, bookstore, broadcasting station. For him, I could become to work alone in downtown. And he has so many great friends whom are wheelchair basketball player, shops manager, even homeless. I could experience for wheelchair basketball and wheelchair running, wheelchair blind running, etc. It was so exciting. One more thing, tell you the truth, I met his girlfriend. She is so cute and very brilliant lady and so beautiful woman. Very hospitable and so glamorous spirit she has. I learned humble, respect, sacrifice, careful concern from him. He is really amazingly great man. Thank you so much, and I really great honor to meet you, Mr. Brad. I have met here three faculty members. I have been working related multicultural in Korea from 8 years ago, so that I can get the chance for meet several faculty members related multicultural. One of them is Associate Professor Castro Tony. He's big man and care for students very well. I have attended during this semester his class. I could experience campus life to him. This is Professor Punky Hefner. The name is very funny. Punky. I have met him for introduce Professor Castro in his office. First time when I visit that office, I surprised that he is having a tea, not a coffee. I have never seen before till meeting him to drink the Oriental tea. And I heard from him to bake poetry ourselves. He said he built the private kiln. Indeed, there are many of the poetry baked ourselves in his office. He began to bake poetry from 20 years. He talked and we talked and discussed about the multicultural phenomena in Korea and America, about how can we support and how we are supposed to these peoples. She is Director International Intercultural Initiatives. I am not sure, but maybe someone realized what I emphasized the particular words. I said I would like to introduce 3 keywords. The one of them was language, and the second was relationship. Before introduce the third keyword, I'd like to say why I want to come here. First of all, I'd like to know the America's social system. Basically, the America became a country on the diversity, multi-race, multi-ethnic, multicultural. They can make successfully how put in the melting pot what kinds of races, kinds of ethnics, kinds of colors, and developed and baked one of the American. They mingled, they mixed, they melted. I'd like to know this know-how because my country just began encountered different colors, different languages, different ethnic groups. We can meet now easily in the office. We can see in the supermarkets they are. Now these days, easily we can talk in the schools. Even some people live in the same house, same space. It makes the chance who since was born. It makes the chaos who since was born and grown with one language and one color and one ethnic and one root. We know that this is one of the social phenomena and necessary stream. However, we would like to try to change this society more peacefully and more stably. That is why I am here. When I stay here, I could meet many kinds of persons who, if I didn't come here, I could never meet people. I would like to appreciate Asian Affairs Center and Director Mr. Kim, and Dr. Yu, and Dr. John, and Dr. John, and Steph Gemma, and others. You gave me the great chance to meet so many significant people. I can connect through this Asian Affairs Center. We are connected through the AAC. I really hope to develop this center more and more. I appreciate to all of the staffs and the colleagues to meet here. I want to introduce the third keyword, connected. Do you know that the twilight is more beautiful and close to red color, more than in the mornings? You are not late. You don't necessarily be afraid. Don't hesitate to make new relationship with someone, for anybody. It is progress of our life to care or to be cared. This is the way and life. I love every single person who I could meet here and couldn't, but I knew the name or face. I really hope I'd like to keep in touch every single person. I really hope I'd like to. As you know, I am in university. However, like as you know, my university located in small town, but near from the Seoul. Maybe I can give you some inside advice for enter the university if necessary. And last one thing, while I am staying here, I am changed that I looked behind my back when I opened the door every single time, because I confirmed the following person. I have learned here for careful concern and lady for you first. Perhaps if I go back to Korea, my behavior will be returned older first. However, I am going to try to keep my experience. It is because I have learned, because we are human beings, because we believe that the human beings can change for the education. The last keyword, connected we are. Thank you very much. See you someday. See you somewhere. I hope you a successful life and great honor to meet all. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.